So a common question from coaches who are interested in some of the things that I write about in terms of my basketball philosophy and how I run practices is how to set up small-sided games. And so to me, the biggest thing when I'm creating a game that I'm going to use in practice is to think about what am I trying to accomplish. You know, whether it's trying to get a specific skill, more game-like repetitions. Am I trying to teach a tactical skill? Am I trying to work on defense or maybe some specific aspect of defense? Am I simply trying to get more repetitions? Am I trying to make the drill more intense? These are all reasons for using a small-sided game. If I wanted to make practice more intense and use a small-sided game for conditioning, for instance, I'd probably play 3-on-3 full court with no dribble. I've seen studies recently that showed that no dribble games actually do elicit higher max heart rates than just a regular game. And so I've found in the past, before I'd read the research, that's to me just watching the reactions of players and watching their body language, that no dribble 3-on-3 full court seems to be one of the more taxing games to play during practice. So I've used it, as a passing drill. I've used it, as a form of transition drill, and then I also use it as a conditioning drill. So that's one example. There's other ways that I structure games to, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish. So one that we started to use was only one player is allowed to dribble on a possession. And so the goal was that we wanted to get a little bit more movement off the ball, and we wanted players to recognize when they had a small advantage and how they could use the dribble to turn that small advantage into a big advantage, as opposed to catching, holding, waiting all the time, or immediately dribbling and relying on the dribble to create things. So we wanted to use the screens and the ball movement and the player movement to create an advantage, and then be able to use the dribble to exploit that advantage. So if I come off a screen and let's say my defensive player is trailing me, well, now I might use that dribble to draw more defense, or to try to turn the corner into the lane, either for my layup or to draw more defense, and then I can kick out to somebody else who can just catch and shoot and not have to use the dribble again. So those are two examples of creating small-sided games for different reasons. But essentially, when I'm creating a game, I'm going to manipulate some task constraint. So there's some aspect of the game that I want to manipulate, whether it's the use of the dribble, player movement, ball movement, like I said, different aspects of defense. I use small-sided games to work on transition offense, so we might run a series of drills from 2-on-2 to 3-on-3 to 4-on-4 to 5-on-5, using some way to create that small advantage. So it's 2-on-1 to 2-on-2, or 3-on-2 to 3-on-3, and so that becomes a transition drill. I can use that in the half court to practice what to do once we have created that small advantage and exploiting it to create the big advantage. So there's any number of ways to structure a small-sided game, but to know exactly how to do it, we have to start with what we're trying to accomplish. So why are we reducing from a 5-on-5 to a small-sided game? What is it that we're trying to get out of that drill? Typically more repetitions is going to be part of it, but we probably want to simplify the game in some aspect as well. So what is it that we're trying to simplify? What is it we're trying to get more repetitions of? And then how can we construct that drill, or manipulate the drill to accomplish this goal? Does that mean, again, taking away the dribble, taking away certain passing options, playing a game with no ball screens, playing a game where you have to score after a ball screen? These are all different rules that you can use, again, to focus on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and to try to get more repetitions for that skill that you're trying to practice through that drill.